Alright, what's up guys? EWU Bodycam has uploaded a video titled When an Evil Principal Doesn't Realize He's Being Filmed. Yeah, I kind of just have a feeling, it's gonna be something crazy, but yeah, it trips me out though, cause I just remember back when I was in elementary, there was this principal, cause I used to be a troubled kid growing up. And no, I just remember, I think it was a fight that I got into, and I just remember the principal, the way he was going off on me, you would have thought like this would have been like my 100th fight that year or something. I'm like, I didn't fight like all the time like that, but yeah, I've had my fair share of, fights when I was in school and stuff, but no, I just remember my principal at the time, him going off on me over it, just for him, like, I think it was, I can't remember if it was that same year or whenever, but overall, though, he ended up getting, fired from, like, the school district because he was, it was either SAing or, S harassment. It was either assault or harassment, but with that S part, and I think we all know what that is, but yeah, it's like, bro, you out here, I'm getting into, like, kid fights. You out here doing something far more worse. I can't get arrested for no kid fights. But I'm like, you, on the other hand, yeah, bro, you could do prison time behind what you're doing. So, like, really, you're getting on me for some stuff. And I'm like, fam, like, the thing is this. I could grow up and ain't nobody gonna be thinking about that type of stuff. You, on the other hand, it's like, bro, come on now. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna have, like, some power like that at a school, set an example, but, yeah, it's like, whatever this principal is doing, it's like, yeah, it's things like that that people are going to remember, and it's like, with that principal, that's all that I remember about him. Like, I'm like, anytime when, yeah, I think of that school and I think of that principal, I'm like, that's the only other thing that I can think of. Like, it got so bad that it was pretty bad that they made it to, like, the local news. So yeah, it was tough. It was a tough situation, but he brought that out himself. It's like, you out here carrying on like that, and same with this principal. Whatever it is that you did, it's like you brought that stuff on yourself. So it's like, whatever the consequences are, you just gonna have to deal with it. But anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to EWU Bodycam for more videos like this. And with that being said,
I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a security camera in that room.
There is.
Yeah, and it caught everything on camera.
You don't think he was playing with it?
Playing? Oh, no, ma'am. He's going to jail tonight.
Police are called to a small private school in Ocala, Florida, after the principal is accused of trapping a fifth-grade student in a room and assaulting him for nearly an hour.
Oh, wow.
The following report is based on police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that the suspect in question and all persons charged with the crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Yeah, but it's like, they catch that stuff on camera. It's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't look at it as, like, oh, he's innocent until proven guilty. I'm like, as soon as I see that security camera, I'm like, nah, bro, it's, yeah, you gonna find yourself in a world of trouble. And it's like, it's one of those things where if whoever that kid is, whether it's the father or he got like some man figures in his life, where it's like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, it could be a cousin of mine that I don't even know, where it's like, yeah, as soon as I find, it's upsetting even just with this situation, but it's like, my thing is this, I'm like, I don't care what the situation is, I'm like, you're gonna get hurt, bro. That's one of those things, I'm like, yeah, you definitely better be watching over your back when you go out in public.
God bless you.
How you doing? Do you know why I'm here?
Yes, we had called because we just got a report that that our principal mishandled one of our kids today.
Your principal did?
Yes.
Do you have a video of it?
Yes. Yes, they have a video of it. That's the executive principal right there.
We have a video of it, but the person who can put it up is on their way in maybe about 30 minutes before they can get here.
Are you the one that called 911?
She called 911. She's our pastor.
I'm the founder.
She's the founder of the school.
Destiny Leadership Academy is a Christian school started by Lily Tuggerson, known as Apostle T to her congregants at Immerse, the Pentecostal church nearby. It's clear immediately that the line between school employees and church followers is somewhat blurry.
Now, we haven't talked to the parent.
The parent doesn't know?
I don't know.
We are not sure. She hasn't called her. So
But we haven't talked to him.
When did you find out
I
about
imagine
this?
the kid most
I
likely
found out
told his
about it
parent.
about-
The thing is this, you're not, because if something like that were to happen to me, I guarantee and I promise you, I'm telling my parents, and I'm most likely going to be visiting my parents on visiting day, because stuff like that just don't slide. slide. I'm like, yeah, that's just something where it's like, I recommend to any kid out there. I don't know if there is any kids out there watching this video, but if so, and there's a teacher that you know done did something to you, report that stuff, all right? Because they got to pay for that. So
About 6 or 7 o'clock this evening, the teacher called me.
And she came to the church and told me about it.
it's like that's how a kid got to look at it. It's like you're more important than that principal's job. So I'm like, that principal don't deserve the job that he's in. Where if he's gonna be abusing his power like that, yeah, it's like nah. Like I said, you're more important than that principal, teacher, whoever. You know, it's like you're more important than their job.
Don't call the sheriff department right now.
Neither the child nor the principal himself are still on campus, leaving the police with only names and descriptions at this point.
His name is Donnie Prophet.
His last name's Prophet?
Yes. I believe he would do something like that.
How old is the kid?
I think he's like in the 5th grade.
Do you know where it took place at?
Dr. Wagner. She knows.
Is this a school?
Yes.
Oh.
This is school. I didn't talk to Brother Prophet about it. I mean, he's a member of our church too. So I didn't talk to him, and I didn't call the parent yet.
It'll be some time before the school secretary arrives with the surveillance video, but Dr. Vi, Destiny's executive principal, has already seen the footage, and even her description of it sounds appalling.
And in that video, what did you see?
I saw the principal in severe physical confrontation with the student.
And what physical did you see?
I saw him throw the kid on the floor at one point.
And what do you mean by throw? Did he pick him up? Did he push him?
I saw a slinging.
He slinged him like that?
Yes, and then at one point he was on top of the kid.
As horrifying as these details sound, the deputy seems to wonder if something precipitated the confrontation.
Did the kid do anything to invoke this?
Even if the kid did, it's like, fam, my thing is this, all right? Because I know people will probably be all like, oh, what would you do if you were a principal? That kid could kick me in the groin. Yes, I might want to, do that Kurt Angle slam and slam that kid on his back, but I can't do that because I am an adult. This is a minor. I'm like, my thing is this. If it's my kid, yeah, kid catching the Kurt Angle slam. I don't care. It's like, but I'm just, okay, let me clarify. I'm joking when I say that. I'm not going to actually slam my kid on the ground, but I'm just saying it's one of those things where if I know that that's not my kid, I can't do anything to punish that kid. I'm like, the only thing that you can do is call that kid's parent. Kick them up out of the school and call their parent. So I'm like, that kid, yeah, he could give me some Three Stooges eye pokes. He could give me a Kurt Angle slam. I'm like, if anything, I'll be amazed that the kid could do that. But yeah, it's like, jokes aside, it's like you can't do anything to that kid. It's like that kid could do the worst to that principal. You can't do nothing to that kid, all right? So people might want to argue with that. There ain't no argument with it, So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm about like that principal knows what he was doing, and it's like he knows that it was wrong. So anyways.
Just to lead up to this?
My thing is this. It's like, do you think that principal would have done that in front of the kid's parents? Because it's like, yeah, that principal would have lost his life. So.
Did they have problems in the past? Anything?
Does it matter?
They've had problems in the past.
They've been the best friends.
So this is an ongoing issue?
I think so.
Okay.
And it's not.
But what led, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What, did he was just in anger rage, so he took it out on the kid?
My understanding is that he called the kids in because they're the leaders and said that in order for you to graduate, you got to write a 5-page essay. I think he said he was not going to do it. He didn't understand why they would have to do that. And so the kid is in the video, he put his head down on the desk. And so from that point, I think the principal was trying to make the kid do what he said.
As the deputies step out.
I'm like, okay, so my thing is this. If I tell the kid, I'm like, okay, you gotta write this 5-page essay. And he's like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, okay, well then you're gonna get held back. So I'm like, you explain that to your parents. But I'm like, so is that gonna be his reason on why he did what he did to that kid? Because if so, then I'm like, yeah, bruh, you definitely got some issues.
Discuss the case. One of them gets the first inkling that something is off. A feeling that will only grow in the coming hours.
Well, this sounds like an aggravated child abuse arrest.
This sounds like a headlines case. Principal of Destiny Leadership Academy arrested for aggravated child abuse.
This happened like 2 o'clock this afternoon. The kid went home.
She told me he's lumped up pretty bad. The parent didn't see this? Parent didn't see the marks on this kid's face? That's a little weird.
Yeah.
And then they waited to, the secretary and the teacher waited till 30 minutes ago to finally tell them about, oh yeah, by the way, you should know about this.
The deputies run Dante Prophet's name through their system, but this standard scan returns a shocking result.
Can you imagine he's a suspect?
Another case?
He just got arrested last year.
Wow.
What? Battery?
He got arrested on a warrant last year.
He got arrested on a warrant and he's put this
Black
private school.
community.
He got arrested for a probation violation, felony, 1 count, attempt to commit interfering with child custody.
As stunning as
Wow.
this revelation is, the deputy soon realizes that he hasn't seen the worst of it.
Lewd and lascivious molestation.
You're joking.
Swear.
10-15?
Yeah.
Go on the interstate.
I bet they don't know that. I can't wait to tell them.
As eager as the
That's
police are to share the
crazy. And I'm like, fam, you guys didn't do no background check on this guy and you made him the prince? That's
these
crazy.
details with the school's administrators, the reaction they get is nearly as surprising as the news itself.
Question. Do you guys do screening before you do a hiring process?
Yeah.
We do. Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes.
Well, I just looked up Dante, and
Yes, I know. We know.
do you know of the serious charges that he has against him?
He's been arrested twice out of Marion County alone.
1 for molestation,
We didn't check any other
One for
counties.
where?
child molestation.
Okay, that's the
Yes,
accusation.
that was the accusation.
Well, he got arrested for it.
Yeah.
And then the other one is interference with child custody, felony.
Is what?
Interference with child custody, felony.
What is that?
Basically means that a parent or a guardian said, give me my kid. He said, I'm not giving you the kid.
Yeah, he refused to give somebody's kids back.
That's crazy.
So that means he took somebody's kid, or a kid went with him somewhere to his house or something, and he refused to return the kid after the kid was put in missing. A kid that's not his.
My thing is this, and they say this like it's accusations. I'm like, fam, my thing is if I own a school and I do a screening and I look to see that that's something like that would, you search their name and that pops up. No, I'm like, you're not getting hired at this school. So something could happen here and then the parents is looking at me. No, that ain't happening. I'm like, you gonna have to go work somewhere else, but you definitely ain't working here, bruh. Nah.
Yeah, he's very protected.
The revelation that school officials already knew about some of Dante's history is astonishing, and the deputy tries to make them understand the potential problem they have on their hands.
I'm sure your parents don't want to find out that you got a guy,
That school gonna get
principal at
shut
your school that's molestation charges and interference with child
A
custody.
lot of them know him though.
Okay, but that's...
Like personally?
Yes.
I got you. I mean,
Okay.
if I had a child and I found out my principal of my children's school,
Yeah.
I'd be freaking out.
Right. He knows a lot of them. He's very personable. This part I didn't know about him, so the accusation came. But he mentor like teenage boys and stuff, and help them finish their high school and help them go to college. So all of that.
The deputy's frustration is mounting, but
Yeah.
it seems that school officials have already dealt with some of these concerns.
That's the same thing that anybody can have access to if they pull up his name, right? They should be able to see that.
Yeah,
But some, because a parent or two had mentioned it, but they were still, because he had done such a good job last year, they were still willing to stand behind him and let their kids come.
and now look what happened.
That's, man. It's like I don't think they're understanding the issue here, and their excuse is, oh well, a lot of people know him, so that's why it's like we haven't done nothing about this. I'm like, yeah, that's just, I think what it is that they're scared of him. It's like they're scared of him, scared of what he might do to them, and it's like it's one of those things where you just gonna have to take that. If it comes down between my life or them kids' life, because he very well could have killed that child. So it's like it's one of those things where, and that's something that I'll have to live with. If it's like I know of this guy's history, I know what he's capable of, and I still hire him at the school. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, fam, I'm not even a parent, but I care more about whoever these kids are that goes to this school that he does and that you guys like care. So it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where it's just this school needs to be shut down, and I'm like, everybody there needs to lose their job, because that just, to me, that just don't make no sense where you're aware of what he's doing or what he's capable of or his charges, and it's like you guys didn't even do nothing about it.
That's what I'm gonna say.
He's not on his meds.
Yes, he does.
What does he take meds for?
hyper, whatever age.
Oh, ADHD?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got ADHD. I'm not beating kids.
What you said?
I said I got ADHD and I'm not beating kids.
Yeah.
The deputy stepped
It's
aside.
like, nah, that's, and I think, yeah, they're trying to, like, say that as an excuse. I'm like, I just remember a teacher, saying that to me. I was in the classroom, and I think because we were just all acting up and stuff, and she was like, oh, you guys, have, like, a case of ADHD and ADD. And yeah, we just kind of looked at each other. We was like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I guess, like, that's my first time hearing about it. But I'm like, hey, if we got it, we got it. Not once did I ever think, like, you know, maybe I should, like, go up and beat up some random kid that I don't know. Or if I, yeah, become a principal and do the things that he does. I'm like, fam, I'm like, the thing is this. I might joke around with, like, you know, like, oh, because I think I've said that before, like, in a joking way, like, I'll fight a child, you know, with the intentions of losing and stuff. And it's like, just isn't in a joking way, you know, and even something like that. It's like, you know, it can be left up to a lot of different people whether I should joke about stuff like that or not. But I know me, and I know I wouldn't do no stuff like that, you know, even if it's my own child. It's like, that's just something that I don't believe in. So it's like with this situation, it's like, yeah, it definitely, it could have been handled with him not being hired at that school, you know, but yeah, I just think that, you know, it definitely could have been handled with, it's like, you're mad at the kid for not writing an essay, then it's like, okay, then it's like, you know, then you'll be suspended and you'll have to explain that to your parent. That's the only thing that you could do in a situation like that.
Side once again to let his superior know about his accumulating suspicions.
And the owner and the head person here all know about his problems. And they're nervous as hell right now because they realize, they know if when I watch this video and it shows what they're saying to me, I'm going to have to go arrest them. But my thing is, they're saying the kid's all welted up and stuff like that. The teacher knew about it. The teacher didn't say jack until later tonight when she was confronted about it. Yeah, so I think it was a little hush-hush job going on here. Because they have already admitted to me that a couple of parents have came forward to them about, hey, what's up with this dude? We looked into him, and they're kind of like hushing him down, like, oh, no, it's nothing. I think these people know that they're probably in for a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're acting real nervous. And like, oh, yeah, we knew about his past, but the parents still loved him. I go, okay.
I'm like, you think that parent that, you know, my thing is this. You think that parent that when their kid comes home and then they see that they've been beaten up and things, and then it's like the kid tells them that, because me, if I'm a parent and my kid comes home and he talking about my principal beat me up, and I'm like, because my thing is this, I feel like, yeah, my anger is gonna start rising. I'm gonna process it, and then I think that's when I'm gonna have to like look at my son and be all like, you know, son, I love you, but, you know, from this day forward, you are going to have to be the man of the house. Unless it's a, you know, if it's a situation where I do get out before the age of 18, that like for the certain amount of years, you're going to have to be the man of the house. You know, bills and all that stuff. Like, yeah, your mom's going to take care of that. But overall, though, it's like, yeah, it's going to be one of those things where I'm like, I am going to go away for a while. I know I'm going away unless this man is caught before then. But I'm like, if I catch up to him, then yes, I am going away for a while. So, yeah, that's, you know, you just gotta pretty much, say your, I ain't gonna say goodbye, but I'm like, you know, say your see you laters to your kid, and then you, go handle your business. I'm all like, you know, tell my kid, I'm like, you know, you're more than welcome to my, sneakers. You're more than welcome to play my video games. But, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm all like, I'm definitely going away for a while, so.
Deputies know about the charges on Dante's record, but it's only when they pull up the official filing that they begin to piece together specifics about what the principal was arrested for 7 years ago.
In the summer of 2017, while staying at the Royal Kids Camp, where Prophet was camp counselor. Yep.
It's an ECU case.
The camp allowing counselor to contact him if necessary. He said Prophet contacted him for the first time. Himself and his nephew.
According to the Ocala Police Department report, Dante gave letters to the child at the end of camp, writing in part, "You know that I love you and I always will." Dante kept in touch with the child over the coming months, inviting him to his apartment to watch a movie in November 2017.
That's crazy.
The report alleges that Dante laid down behind the minor on the couch and asked him, "Do you feel that?" when there was inappropriate contact. According to the report, both the victim and Dante were clothed at the time.
Awesome.
Wow.
And he's not a registered sexton?
No, I think he was too young. I think it was fell into Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, his age?
Yeah.
Oh.
At the time, he fell enrolled in Juliet, which just means he doesn't have to register as a sex offender.
Under
Wow.
Florida's Romeo and Juliet law, offenders who meet certain criteria can avoid the official offender registry, even if they're convicted of the underlying
That's
crime.
a thing?
It should be noted, however, that in Dante's case, prosecutors dropped the molestation charge entirely, and the court
Wow.
withheld adjudication on the charge of interfering with child custody. His profit organization website credits him with having faced and overcome false charges.
So you got what?
Tess. That's insane, bruh. I'm like, nah. Any and everybody, that done came across this man, they need to know. They need to get in trouble. It's like, you allowed this guy, he ain't faced no form of punishment for the stuff that he done did, and it's like, it just seems like nobody cares, and it's like now it's yeah. Hopefully with this situation, and then with the like the security camera and stuff, yeah, it either puts this man away for a long period of time to where it's like either a life, or when he does get a chance to get out, he's just too old and elderly to do anything, so he ain't got no choice but to stay off up in maybe a halfway house or wherever and things. But overall though, it's like it's stuff like this where it's like any and everybody that came across this man and they defended his actions, they need to face some sort of if not trouble, backlash.
Yeah.
They need to suffer with this guy, because that's
Well, he's not
crazy.
getting lucky tonight. I promise you.
The surveillance video will undoubtedly be crucial to the investigation, but the deputies know they must also speak to the victim.
Yeah.
The founder of the school calls the child's mom and passes her phone to the deputy, a decision she may soon regret.
Here, you want me to talk to her?
The sheriff want to talk to you.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Hey, do you mind bringing your son up here so we can talk to you guys? Because we're going to have to talk to him regardless.
I understand. I'm just a little taken aback right now. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I was almost asleep myself.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm supposed to wake my son up and bring him out there?
Yes, ma'am. Have you noticed any...
Like, I'm just confused by all of this, because I'm like, my thing is this, and I'm like, maybe that's just something that I wouldn't have, like, thought of doing. Like, if I had a kid, I don't think I'd just be, looking at my kid, but all like, okay, he ain't got no cuts or, but I would hope that my kid would feel comfortable to tell me, about his day at school, and if he told me some stuff like that, then, like I said, I'm going to be going away for a while. I ain't gonna be doing no YouTube. I'm like, you're gonna be the new TMossBoss now. So I'm like, if you start doing videos, just let people know the situation, and then it's just go on from there. Just carry on my legacy of things. But it's like, how, like, why am I like, I'm just not understanding. It's like, you talk about, I have to wait. No, I'm like, in a situation like this, I'm like, I'm like getting a big old giant spoon in a pot, and I'm hitting that mess together. I'm like, nah, it's time to, we gotta figure this situation out, because something ain't right.
Bruising or lumps or anything on your son's face or body or anything?
He felt like Mr. Prophet hit him with something. I said, I don't know if they was sports playing. I don't know, but I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
The mom ultimately agrees to bring him up to the school, but as the deputy hands the pastor's phone back, he notices something alarming in her recent call history.
She probably caught that guy.
Did you call Donnie Prophet?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Why I called him?
Yeah, why'd you call? Did you talk to him on the phone?
No.
Don't call him back.
Don't call him.
If he calls you back, don't tell him we're here. Don't tell him he's under investigation. Don't ask him about what
Yeah,
happened.
do not call him, please. These are very serious charges.
Yeah, we want to get our ducks in a row before we talk to him, before he has
And she probably called to tell him all the stuff that's going on.
time to put a story together in his head about what happened.
Or leave town.
Yeah.
Realizing that the school's other top official, Dr. Vi, has disappeared from view, the deputies track her down to make sure she's not also trying to reach out to Dante.
Ma'am?
Just go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, she called him twice, and I saw that it wasn't a missed call either. It was an answer because I saw the seconds next to it.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's, man.
She probably called him and warned him. Have you tried to call Donnie?
Apostle did.
I know. Did you? Yeah.
Did she talk to him?
Did
No,
she?
he didn't answer.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can't have people calling him.
Pardon?
So we can't have people calling him.
You don't want people calling him?
No. He's got a history of running.
While the officer mentions about Dante's history of running, we haven't been able to confirm the basis of this statement from the records we have access to. Before police can think about tracking Dante down, however, they need the full story. The 5th grade victim arrives, giving them their first chance to hear about the incident firsthand.
So, what happened today, man? What happened between you and Mr. Prophet?
The boy begins with a story that matches what Dr. Vise said earlier. He was pulled from class along with a few other 5th grade boys. Soon enough, however, the other boys were sent away and he was left alone in the room with the principal.
I didn't want to be in the room at that time. So I couldn't even excuse myself because he wouldn't even let me go through the door.
Did he ever throw you on the ground?
He did hit me on the ground.
He did hit you?
And I don't think like about.
Dang, that's some hard floor too.
Well, the thing that hurts the most.
Regardless of whether it's hard floor or carpet, he shouldn't have done no stuff like that. But anyways, I was just pointing that out. Like, you know, it could have been like, I guess like with carpet, it's like it'd be a little bit cushioning. You know, I guess depending on how you fall. But it's like, yeah, some hard floor. It's like, yeah, that's gonna hurt. So.
Side of my
Can I see your hip?
Yeah, right here. Like it's right here.
Here, show me it. You're okay.
I got you. I'm right here. Go ahead. Right there.
Here, show me.
He wants you to see. He wants to see. It was like a line, a big line bump. And she was like, it looked like you got hit hard. Okay. I'm like, oh, that's 5 minutes to probably hit me with that computer cord thing.
Yeah.
The child's mother says that she first heard something about the altercation during a doctor's appointment this afternoon.
He told the doctor, like, what do you do about all over body pain? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, he goes, well, you know, just all over body pain, like really it hurts here. And
it hurt his hips?
Yeah, he said it hurts here.
I felt this, it's kind of upsetting because I'm like, fam, you know, that's something with like me and my family. We tell each other everything. We don't hide nothing. And I imagine that, you know, like if something like that were to happen to me, I would like to think, especially, you know, yeah, me being a kid, it's like I would have told my parents something like that, you know. So yeah, it's one of those things because that was one thing about it. Like anytime when something would happen between me and a teacher, I was quick to tell my parents about that type of stuff, you know. And I could just think of a moment where I did feel like a teacher was kind of abusing her power when I was in school. But anyways, so me and a friend of mine, it's like we would play around, like we would we wouldn't like actually be fighting with each other, but it's just kind of like a friendly taps, kicks, and all that stuff. So there was a day I remember I had kicked my friend, but it wasn't like a full-on, like, you know, punt, like some Randy Orton type stuff. So the best way I could describe it, if you've seen that movie Stand By Me, and remember when the two guys was walking side by side, and he did like that like weird like side kick, I did that to my friend. So anyways, I remember I came to school next day, and then the teacher was all like, call your mom, and so you kick this, you know, you're this student. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, what are you talking about? Because I'm thinking like a full-on like kick. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't kick nobody. And then when the teacher, like when she eventually said, I was like, okay, for one, that's my friend. And second, I'm like, my thing is this. If it had been a situation where I actually had hurt them, then I'm like, I would apologize behind that stuff. But I had even asked my friend, I'm like, did I hurt you? She shook her head no. And the teacher was all like, don't talk to her. And I'm like, no, I am going to talk to her. That's my friend. I'm like, and I ain't going to just be out here randomly hurting my friends and stuff. So yeah, I remember the teacher, she was all like, I think was like just on some power trip things. I ain't get along with my teachers. But yeah, if they did some stuff like this, like she took a computer cord, they done hit me. Oh yeah, I'm definitely telling my mom that. I was like, the time where I remember a bus driver was trying to kick me off the bus over some walking distance crap, talking about I have to walk from school to my house. Now, from where my school was at to where my house is at, that's a pretty far walk. And then it's like cars, like it's like one of those things where it's like there's a part of the road where you can't even see when a car is coming. So a car could come flying around that corner, hit me, and then I'm in the hospital. So that's why I'm like, I catch the bus, so I'm on like a proper road where it's like, you know, you can see cars and stuff. But yeah, I remember I told my dad that. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, and then with the teacher saying that I kicked the student, I was like, I told my mom, I was like, yeah, she wanted me to call you. So it's like, if my thing is this, if I'm telling my parents some stuff like that, you best believe something like this, I'm definitely telling my parents. All right.
The doctor that?
He told the doctor on the television. He said.
Oh, it was a television.
Yeah, it was a television. She was like, I said, well, maybe it's growing pains, you know, because he's getting tall.
Do you need anything else to tell us?
Like, that's some like
did he
weird.
touch you?
Listen to me. Watch me. Look at mama. You are safe.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna,
am
I'm
I?
gonna make sure of that, Bubba.
Because I'm like, I think that the kid, it's something where I felt like that the kid was afraid to tell his mom, and that's something that the kid shouldn't you shouldn't be afraid to tell your mom no stuff like that.
You are safe. And I will protect you with everything. If there's something you need to say, you need to say it. We will take it and we will do what we have to do to make sure everything is right, okay? Did Mr. Prophet touch you in any way that is not appropriate? No. Are you sure? Yes, sure.
What did or didn't happen today will soon be
I
clear.
feel like, yeah, that, the kid, I feel like the way that the kid or the mom was talking to the kid too, it's like, it almost sounds like it's like kind of like an angry tone, and the kid won't be able to tell the difference, So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I think that I'm not saying that she don't have a good relationship with her kid, but I think that it can be better, to where it's like the kid should be comfortable with telling you, some stuff like that happen and things. But anyways,
because the secretary finally arrives with her computer. And it won't be long before the police realize that this incident was far worse than the descriptions made it sound.
Is the video on your laptop?
Yes. There's multiple. I know.
Multiple? All today?
I don't need to see it.
No, but you need. No, you need to, but you don't know. Go on. Okay, please.
The video begins with Dante sitting across from the boy, who has his head down on the desk. The principal gets up and walks over to the boy and begins prodding him, perhaps in an attempt to get his attention. But it isn't long before these antagonizing taunts spiral into something much more chaotic, and the situation soon escalates from chair wrestling into a full-fledged struggle for control.
Wow.
The child is clearly desperate to escape the principal's grasp, but Dante is equally determined to keep the boy under his power. In an almost unbelievable scene, Dante wrestles the boy to the floor and straddles him. But even after getting the boy under his control, Dante continues to behave in a way that alarms the deputy.
Why is he patting him like that?
Why is he what? Patting him like that?
He's rubbing his lower back and head. Well, makes sense for his other charges. Chokehold. Broke out of the chokehold. He's trying to get him a chokehold. You should probably watch this.
Sorry?
I said you probably should watch this.
Yes, you should.
See what kind of guy you got working around the kids.
Remarkably, the altercation is interrupted several times over the course of the video.
You have to see where he himself is being aggressive. The kid didn't have a chance.
He's aggressive.
Man.
Or text me your notes with your info.
Now, who's this kid?
That's one of her kids, and where did she go in for?
No idea.
Did she say
I don't even know.
He probably told her though.
At one point, the boy sees an opportunity to escape that he can't pass up, leading to one of the video's most shocking moments.
Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, there it is. He tried to leave and he just threw him on the ground.
Wow.
I mean, that's false imprisonment.
But although the visuals from the video are hard to watch, they aren't compelling for everyone in the room.
So you don't think he was playing with me?
Play? Oh, no, ma'am. He's going to jail tonight.
That's, yeah. It's one of those things where every adult in this video, besides the cops, it's just, yeah, I'm like, I'm really, I'm really trying to, like, piece it together. How do you look at that? I'm like, okay, so, like, if that's your kid, do you think somebody would be playing around with them? I'm like, my question is like, do you guys have kids? Because I'm like, it's something where I feel like you guys don't have kids, so I guess you don't understand the nature of this video. You don't understand the wrongs with this video. Because I feel like anybody that got kids, it's like, you going, and yeah, you got some people out there where it's like, they just don't care. It's like, they got kids, but they don't care and things. And it's something where I'm like, nah, I'm going to prison. I'm like, if my kid comes home and he tells me my principal even if it's something where it's all like, if the principal pushes my kid And I'm like, if my thing is this, my kid, and it's something where I'm like, okay, I definitely would try to figure. I'm like, okay, we need to see some security cameras. We need to see something, because it's like, I guess like if there's like no way to prove it, then it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, then security cameras. I'm calling the cops, and we're gonna have to see some security cameras. But if my kid comes home and he has bruises, body pains, and all this, I'm like, oh, you're going through growing pains. No, it's like, nah, something is wrong with this situation. You got marks and stuff. Growing pains don't come with marks, all right? So that's why I'm like, yeah, definitely. A lot of people need to get questioned in this video.
At times, Dante's movements are slow and methodical, and the camera catches it when he slings a computer cord of some kind at the boy several times. The child later said that it was this cord that caused a visible mark on his face.
I think we got it.
But for as much as the deputies have already seen,
It's
the
like
video
hiding
doesn't
underneath
end
the
there.
table. It's like, you guys don't. It's one of those things where I'm like, to the administrator, the people, the teachers, and just overall the higher ups at that school that seen this video and you didn't see nothing wrong. There should be no reason why a teacher is sitting across the room and a kid's hiding underneath the table. It's like, especially if you just seen where this teacher or principal then physically assaulted this kid and stuff. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, and that's why I would ask them, like the teachers and the other people at that school that seen that video. I'm like, how would you like if somebody did that to you? You don't feel a certain way about that. So,
And the horror of the ongoing bullying leaves the women nearly speechless.
Spirit, what we call that, that was overtaken, and it's definitely the spirit of our reality. He is snapped.
Yes.
No reality.
Yes.
Right now. No reality.
What is he doing with that oar?
None.
He has snapped.
None.
He has snapped.
Totally.
Look at him trying to get away.
That's all he wanted was to get away.
That's when you just hit him in the face, or you just smacked him in the face.
With his hand?
Mm-hmm.
No.
it's like, no,
At
with a
times, the
magic
confrontation
wand.
devolves into intense physical conflict, and Dante is the relentless aggressor.
Starts trying to twist his ankle. Sit him.
That he need him.
You just need him.
He need him. Oh my word.
He had him by his leg and he needed him.
Oh, because there was a point where I tried to walk in and I couldn't get in.
Oh, he locked you from coming in?
Because he was sitting in front of the door.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, Miss Hale.
But even with the women clearly horrified by what unfolded today at their school, the deputy
Them
remained-
two might not know. The one that they were just showed sitting, the two old ones, I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, put them in a female prison and allow one of them female prisoners to do what that guy did to them. But the two that were just there, if they didn't know, they didn't know. But if they knew, then I'm like, yeah, give them the same treatment as the older women and stuff. But yeah, it's like, you could tell that it's, yeah, they don't agree with what's going on. They're not looking at it as like, oh, he's just playing around. Like, they're shocked by
and
that.
suspicious of Destiny's founder.
I don't know what she's trying to hide,
No.
but she seems like she has something going on with Donnie about.
But,
The,
because she's his pastor, you know,
well, Donnie don't got a good past, I'll tell you that much. And he shouldn't be around kids.
I think she's in disbelief. Because honestly,
I think that's what it is.
she called you guys before she seen the
I
video.
got you. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Knowing his past, I'm not shocked.
Okay, yeah.
And he shouldn't be around kids at all.
Yeah.
Because he's got a nasty little past.
I hear her now. She was talking about how upsetting it is because in her eyes, he's an upstanding person.
Yeah, I disagree. But
That's the thing where I'm like, I done had it where, not to this extent, but I done had some people that it's like, you looked highly at them and things where it's like, it been friends. I'm trying to think, there'd be some celebrities out there where, yeah, you have like a high looking towards them. And they done said or did things where it's like, it makes me feel a certain way to where I'm like, all that stuff is now thrown out the window, so it's like, it's just one of those, like, there's been times where I've been like cool with people and they done said or did some stuff to me to where it's like, if you done cause some sort of pain within me, I'm sorry, but that stuff is out. Maybe, I don't know, they are more forgiving people than I am, But I'm like, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you cause some sort of like anger and pain like this, I'm like, nah, bruh. All that stuff is thrown. I'm like, I could be the most known pastor in the country, but I'm like, you do some stuff like that. I'm like, the best thing I'm gonna say is like, may God have mercy on your soul. Cause I'm like, you gonna have a rude awakening for the rest of your life. I'm like, that's something where I'm gonna like hit that person where it hurts. So I'm like, yes, religion. I'm like, definitely gonna be bringing religion into that. Cause I'm all like, my thing is this. I'm like, you think God approve of that type of stuff? You know, it's like, my thing is this. I'm like, I ain't no pastor, but it's like, when does it say in the Bible to, you know, just go and physically abuse another person's kid? It don't say no. I feel like, look, I might not be I might have not read the whole Bible, but I highly doubt that there says something like that in there. It does not say that you, Dante Prophet, whatever his name is, that you need to be going around doing what you're doing to kids. So it's just one of those things where it's all like, yeah, he might need to pick up the Bible and read it, because I'm like, yeah, I feel like and the thing is this, he probably could have read the Bible from front page to last, and I feel like I know more about the Bible than he does, because I'm like, you wouldn't be carrying on like that, you know? It's like, that's just something where it's like, that's not what God would want from you. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, bro, come on now, you guys sit down and really think about stuff like that, and it's like, you know, is that something normal? Because it's not. So anyways,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does too now.
All told, the video of the altercation goes on for more than 53 minutes, a shocking length of time for any violent encounter, much less one between a principal and a student. Making matters worse, the school secretary says that he's the last kid anyone would expect trouble from.
He's super intelligent, probably the smartest kid here.
Probably smarter than me.
Gonna get the principal award.
What's
very respectful, very honorable.
As for the other deputy, he lets the school's administrators know that he's seen enough.
I don't know what you guys are going to do in-house wise, but I'm going to go find him and I'm taking him to jail for aggravated child abuse. Okay, it's a second-degree felony in the state, and you won't get a bond.
So what you mean? You don't know what we gonna do?
No, I'm saying I don't.
I feel like the two old women, they gonna probably they just come off as the type, they gonna probably, if he does get like out of prison or whatever, you know, I feel like they gonna be like, oh, like, or if he's like found not guilty for this stuff. But I feel like, yeah, after the video and all that, he's most likely gonna be found guilty. I'm definitely gonna look into this afterwards. But I feel like if it was a situation where he was found not guilty, they would allow him to continue on being the principal there. There'd definitely be the school would get shut down. He had to work somewhere else. But I feel like they seem like the two old women seem like that they'd be the type to give him another chance. And it's like, after watching that video, they did say they were like, oh, he was just playing around. That's like, yeah, it's like, you guys are high.
I don't know what you guys are doing in-house wise, firing them, get rid of them, whatever you guys are doing. I'm saying on my end, I'm taking him to jail tonight.
Oh, it's no way that he can be here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, it's can't be nothing to think about that.
Of course, the main
I feel like if the cops would have never, well, they did say, I think it was one of them, the older women, the older, they called the cops and things, but I don't know. I feel like they called the cops because they didn't know what else to do with things. But I feel like they still would have given him chances. Because it's like, if you knew of his past and you call it accusations, I'm like, and you still allowed him to work there, all this stuff that happened that day, that's all on you guys.
Now we'll be finding Dante Prophet, a challenge he'll have to face without the help of Destiny's founder.
Does anybody know where he lives? Pastor, do you know where he lives?
No. I don't get into people personal.
Okay.
The deputy knows
so the thing is this, all right? Because I feel like that's any job that you work at, you're supposed to give them your address, your name, all that stuff. So it's like, you guys ain't got like his like paperwork or files down somewhere to where I can get his address. That's somewhere I'm like, yeah, these guys are they're straight up protecting him.
He may still have a long night ahead of him, but he takes the time to check with one last person before he leaves.
Is there anything else you need to tell me, Bubba?
Sure.
No? I'm sorry this happened to you, man, alright? I'm gonna do my best to get him, okay? You take care of this, okay? You're a good kid, man. You're a strong kid, alright? Remember, look at me. You did nothing wrong, okay?
Okay.
Alright?
The deputy doesn't have a beat on Dante's exact location, but he does have a phone number. Unfortunately, Dante is extremely reluctant to meet in person.
Hey, where you at, buddy? We gotta talk.
We have to talk.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to talk about?
Well, we could talk about that in person.
No, let's just talk now.
Do you have an incident with another child today at school?
What type of incident?
I Did you? That's what I'm asking, sir. I mean, I'm not trying to ask you pointing directed questions here. I mean, did you have an incident with a student today at Destiny?
I did not.
Okay. Well, where are you at now?
Wow.
So I gotta talk to you, Bubba.
You're gonna have to contact my lawyer.
Having failed to convince Dante to meet voluntarily, the cops head out to the address they have on file for him.
How you doing? Is there a Dante Prophet here?
No, sir.
Where's he at?
We haven't seen him.
We haven't seen him?
No, sir.
So he's not here at all?
No, he hasn't been staying here. What?
Yeah, he did some not good things today, and he's running from us, so. All right, well, I appreciate it.
No, sir.
Thank you.
But if Dante's on the run, it doesn't last. He finally agrees to meet with the deputies at Immerse Church, only a few hundred yards away from Destiny Leadership Academy. The deputy begins by reading him his Miranda rights before Dante launches into his story, which starts with some unsettling comments supposedly made by the student, claims that are Dante's alone and haven't been independently verified.
She wanted to hurt himself, hurt me, you know.
Who's making statements?
Yeah, and hurt me, hurt himself.
Why would you say something like that?
Hurt the school, because lately he's been kind of having some hard times.
Okay. My thing is this: whatever comments that kid made, I'm like, that's don't give you the right to put hands on him. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm at a principal at a school and the kid talk about, oh, I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hurt myself, I'm gonna hurt this school, then that's why I'm like, okay, well, you're expelled. We're gonna go ahead and call your mom. You could explain to her all these things that you want to do, and you can go on from there. But you up out of this school. Only thing that needs to happen. That 53-minute video of you beating him shouldn't never happen. So that's just one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't even give him the satisfaction of telling the story after I had seen that video. It's one of those things. I probably would have lost my job, being a little bit aggressive if I'm that cop and things, because I'm like, to the one cop that did say he has children and stuff. Then if I'm that cop, I'm like, even if I'm a cop that don't have children, I think I still would have, been, had like a strong arresting towards him and things. But anyways,
him lately.
What do you mean by hurt the school?
Says occasionally crazy statements. So and he have said that he want to shoot up the school, he want to blow up the school. I don't think he's going to actually do it.
Okay, but those are the statements he made to you today?
Yeah. He said he was going to run out the room. Mm-hmm. And one time I had to grab him and stop him from running out of the gate into traffic. Okay. And that's what he said he was going to do.
I'm like, where's the security video of that?
Oh, 100%.
What did you do? How did you try to prevent him?
I grabbed him, which of course.
Okay.
He after that he did spit on me, but
he spit on. Where did you spit on you at?
In my face.
Oh, okay. By grab him, what do you mean you grabbed him?
Meaning that I grabbed him. I tried to.
Did you grab his arm, his leg, his hand?
I probably did all of it.
Okay.
To restrain him.
You were trying to restrain him?
I want to keep him safe.
The deputy, who has seen more than he's letting on, doesn't seem to appear convinced of his defense.
Yeah. So you're telling me this, and I've talked to everybody else at the school there today?
Yeah.
Everybody. And they all told me the same story about him. Very smart, very intellectual.
Very smart, very intellectual.
Not one of them ever mentioned to me ever about him ever making statements before. Stop. I did. They all denied it. They all said that he's never, because those are the type of questions I ask. I say, hey, is he a misbehaved kid? Does he misbehave at all?
In general.
Does he cause problems? They said no.
If Dante still feels that he may have a chance to talk his way out of this dilemma, the deputy soon closes the door on that possibility.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a security camera in that room.
There is.
Yeah, and it caught everything on camera. Everything. Especially when he had his head down and you came up and started grabbing him on the legs and poking him and grabbing him in the chest. When he wasn't talking at all. His head was just down and you approached him. So why'd you do that?
Okay. At the time when I'm not hurting him. I'm trying to get his attention. He said he was going to hurt him.
But you're touching him.
I'm not hurting him at that time.
But you're touching him.
I want to get his attention.
Okay, but are you allowed to touch somebody without their permission?
If I'm not hurting him, I don't think.
No.
With that said, there's only one last thing to do.
Arrest him. Yep.
You're under arrest, okay?
Yes.
Make them cuffs as tight as possible. I'm like, and then if he says like, oh, can you loosen up the cuffs? That like little like screwdriver thing, I wouldn't even loosen it up. I'll just go so if his like cuff is like that, I'll just kind of do that. I'll just wiggle the thing and I'm like, it's loosened. I'm like, and that's every time he say, can you loosen the cuffs? I'll just go and just twist it. Like, I wouldn't even twist it at all. It'd just be like a little phantom twist. I'm like, oh, I loosened them. He's like, but they're still tight. Like, I ain't hear like nothing. I'm like, oh. I'm like, that's all you're getting from me. So I'm like, yeah, make them cuffs as tight as possible.
I don't believe that you're trying to stop him for the hour and 15 minute that the video is recorded. Okay. By you kneeing him in the head with the welt on the side of his head from hitting him with the cable from the computer.
I did not.
You kneed him. You didn't knee him. I didn't say in his head. Knee him. What about when you got him in an ankle lock or in a chokehold? None of that.
There's no.
Okay. Well, you'll have your day in court, sir. But I just want to let you know that is some of the best surveillance video footage I've ever seen in my life. Okay. You're probably fired too from your job, by the way.
Yeah.
The deputy's prediction turned out to be correct. Destiny Leadership Academy told the media that weekend they had terminated Dante.
I wish there was sound on that video, but
does it matter?
Video, I feel safe.
Does it honestly matter?
Dante Prophet was charged with 1 felony count of cruelty toward a child and 1 count of false imprisonment, the latter of which was later dropped by prosecutors.
It was a tough day.
Dante Prophet pled not guilty to the felony charge. Jury selection for his trial is scheduled to begin in February 2025.
It ain't even happening.
Iwu also reached out to the school and the school district, but they did not respond.
Oh, is that the name of this channel, Iwu? But yeah, it's like he talking about, oh, I wish there was. I'm like, does it matter? Honestly, though, does it matter if there's audio? The thing is this: that kid could have a full-blown roasting session to you, say some of the most worst things that you could possibly think of. None of that's gonna matter after what you did. Anything that kid said or did, none of it matters. And I know there'll be people out there like, oh, well, there ain't no, oh, well, there ain't no nothing. I'm like, I'm not hearing absolutely nothing because, like I said, that kid could have given me the most craziest kick to the groin possible. And I'm like, all that stuff that kid went through, that he didn't deserve any of that. Even if that kid is a troubled kid and all that. Because I'm saying, like, I feel like all of us that went to school, we all done seen them troubled kids before. None of them had been through no stuff. Like, even with me, when I had my troubling moments in school, no teacher ever did no crap like that to me. So that's one of those things where it's like, man, it's really crazy. It's really crazy that, you know, he's trying to defend himself for his actions, and it's like, yeah, hopefully he's found guilty. That's all that I'm hoping for in this situation. But anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Iwu Body Cam. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.